Hello everyone, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today's Tribute USA. We're so glad to have you here with us today. In this video, we're honoring the incredible legends who have recently left us. These remarkable individuals touched so many lives, and their legacies will live on forever. Before we begin, please support our channel by giving this video a thumbs up, subscribing, and turning on the notification bell so you don't miss our future tributes. Your support truly means a lot to us. Now, let's come together to celebrate and remember these unforgettable icons. Let's get started.
On July 14, 2025, the world lost a voice that once echoed through transistor radios and the hearts of millions. Connie Francis, born Concetta Rosa Maria Francanero on December 12, 1937, passed away peacefully at the age of 87. Her death marks the end of an era but not the end of her legacy. She was America's sweetheart of song, a trailblazer whose voice helped define mid-20th century pop music. In 1958, the world took notice when Connie asked, "Who's sorry now?" That hit catapulted her to stardom and she never looked back. Her crystal-clear vocals, aching with emotion, resonated across generations. By 1960, she shattered glass ceilings, becoming the first woman ever to top the Billboard Hot 100 with Everybody's Somebody's Fool. She opened doors in a male-dominated industry, inspiring female artists from Brenda Lee to Linda Ronstadt and beyond. Over her career, she notched 53 chart hits, starred in films, recorded in 15 languages, and became a cultural icon in countries as diverse as Germany, Italy, and Japan. Her catalog was as versatile as it was vast, swooning ballads, Pepe anthems, and heartbreak laments. Her hits included Stupid Cupid Lipstick on Your Collar, My Happiness, Where the Boys Are Pretty, Little Baby, a song with a future she never could have imagined. In an unexpected twist of fate, Pretty Little Baby, released in 1962, found new life in 2025, thanks to a viral trend on TikTok. The platform saw over 17 million videos featuring her song, with a staggering 27 billion views. For a generation raised on streaming, her voice became fresh again, unshakably beautiful. Connie embraced this renaissance with joy and wonder. She joined TikTok, engaged with fans, and watched her music climb the Spotify global charts for the very first time, 63 years after it was recorded. In her own words, she said, "It was overwhelming to see something I recorded decades ago speak to millions of young people today." Her life was not without hardship. She endured trauma, personal loss, and the cruel turns of fame. Yet she always returned stronger, wiser, unshaken. She was a champion for victims' rights, an advocate for mental health, and a survivor in every sense of the word. Connie's voice was more than a sound. It was a time machine, a healing balm, a kiss goodnight. Her songs held the power to comfort, to cry, to dance, and to remember. She leaves behind a legacy that transcends genre, language, and time. She leaves behind millions of fans, countless artists she influenced, and generations who will hum her melodies long after she's gone. She is survived by loving family and the eternal echo of her voice. Captured in vinyl grooves, digital streams, and memory itself, I sang my heart out, Connie once said, and oh, how we listened. And now, the world is quiet but her music plays on. Rest in peace, Connie Francis. The voice that made the world feel. You were never just a pretty little baby, you were timeless. On July 14, 2025, in her hometown of Asheville, North Carolina, the world said goodbye to a trailblazing actress whose face became synonymous with daytime television. Eileen Fulton, best known for her iconic role as Lisa Grimaldi on As the World Turns, passed away at 91, following a long period of declining health. As her family confirmed the news, an overwhelming sense of loss spread not just among loved ones and co-stars, but across generations of fans who grew up watching her embody fire, grace, and tenacity on screen. A voice destined for drama born Margaret Elizabeth McClarty on September 13, 1933. In Asheville, she was the daughter of a Methodist minister and her talent sparkled early, famously singing Shortin' and Bread at just 2 years old. After earning a music degree from Greensboro College in 1956, she moved to New York City to study acting under greats like Sanford Meisner, Lee Strasberg, and dancer Martha Graham. The role that changed everything in 1960. She was cast as Lisa Miller on CBS's As the World Turns. Originally written as a sweet, small-town girl, Fulton reshaped Lisa into television's first true soap vixen. smart, scheming, sultry, and endlessly fascinating. Over the next 5 decades, aside from brief absences, Fulton portrayed Lisa until the show's final episode in 2010, making her one of the longest-serving actors in daytime TV history. Her character's journey spanned 8 marriages, countless affairs, betrayals, feuds, and redemptions. Lisa Grimaldi wasn't just a character, she was a phenomenon. And Fulton brought her to life with unmatched conviction, beyond the small screen while dominating live television 6 days a week. Fulton's artistry expanded to the stage. She starred in Broadway's Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf and the long-running off-Broadway classic The Fantasmics. She also headlined cabaret shows in New York and Los Angeles, blending music and storytelling with elegance. Fulton authored 2 How My World Turns 1970 and As My World Still Turns 1995, and published a string of murder mystery novels, including soap opera. A fierce creative and advocate, she was a pioneer, not only in acting, but in resilience and professionalism. When producers once suggested Lisa become a grandmother, Fulton pushed back, insisting that drama, not cliches, kept viewers engaged. Her sharp wit, commanding presence, and unyielding commitment to character gave daytime television depth and dignity. In 1998, she was inducted into the Soap Opera Hall of Fame, and in 2004, she received the Daytime Emmy Lifetime Achievement Award, well-deserved recognitions of her lasting influence, a legacy that still turns in 2019. Fulton quietly retired and returned to North Carolina. Though she left no spouse behind, she is survived by her brother, Charles Furman McClarty, niece Catherine Morris, extended family, and a vast creative family of fans and colleagues who adored her. Legacy Snapshot Television Trailblazer portrayed Lisa Grimaldi from 1960 to 2010, award-winning icon. Soap Opera Hall of Fame, 1998. Daytime Emmy, Lifetime Achievement, 2004. Theater and cabaret performer, starred in Broadway and off-Broadway classics. Sang in clubs nationwide. Author and storyteller. 2 autobiographies and several mystery novels. Eileen Fulton didn't just play Lisa, Suchet became her, and in doing so, she redefined what it meant to be a woman on television. Unapologetic, dynamic, and unforgettable. Rest in peace, Eileen Fulton. Your laugh, your sass, your elegance, they live on. The world turns, and in memory, your world still turns. On July 17, 2025, tragedy claimed one of extreme sport's most iconic figures. Felix Baumgartner, aged 56, perished in a motorized paragliding accident over Porto Sant'Egidio on Italy's Adriatic coast. Authorities confirmed he lost control during a sudden illness and crashed into a hotel swimming pool, striking its edge and dying instantly. Witnesses heard a terrifying roar as the craft spun downward, and despite rescue efforts, Baumgartner was gone. A hotel employee was also injured in the incident. Felix Baumgartner was no ordinary adventurer. Born in Salzburg, Austria, in 1969, he began parachuting in his teens during his military service. But it was in 2012 that he seized global attention. As part of the Red Bull Stratos project, he ascended 128,000 feet into the stratosphere in a helium balloon. From there, he stepped into history, accelerating past Mach 1.258, 143.6 miles per hour, in a daring freefall and becoming the first human to break the sound barrier without a vehicle. That historic leap was not just was a scientific milestone. Over 4 minutes, he succumbed to a spin, flat spinning for 13 seconds, yet stabilized himself and landed safely in New Mexico. He later described the experience as humbling. When you stand on top of the world, you only want to come back alive. Before and after his stratospheric feat, Felix was a pioneer of extreme flight. He base jumped off iconic structures, the Petronas Towers, Christ the Redeemer, Sweden's Turning Torso, and France's Millau Viaduct. He coasted across the English Channel beneath a carbon fiber wing and flew helicopters with the famed Flying Bulls team. Each time, he balanced precision planning with daring instinct. His skills combined technical mastery and mental discipline. Red Bull praised him as born to fly, a professional whose generosity and meticulous preparation inspired countless others. His awards, Bambi Millennium, Laureus Action Sportsperson, and recognition from Flying Magazine reflected both his audacity and method. Yet, in his final moments, while winging along the Italian coast, tragedy cast a shadow on a life lived skyward. The mayor of Porto Sant'Egidio described the town's grief, a symbol of courage and passion for extreme flight. Felix Baumgartner leaves a legacy bridging science and spirit, human potential and the unknown. He opened a door to the skies, final frontier, teaching the world to look up with aspiration and humility. He once said, "Sometimes we have to get really high to see how small we are." Words now echoing as both challenge and comfort. He is survived by his partner, family, and generations of dreamers inspired by his courage. Though his journey has ended, his spirit soars in every skydiver who straps on a suit, in every balloon rising to the stratosphere, in every person daring to test our limits. Felix Baumgartner didn't just fall, he soared beyond boundaries. His leap wasn't just into history, it launched the human spirit into new frontiers. Rest in peace, Felix Baumgartner. Your courage knew no skyline, your legacy no horizon. On July 14, 2025, the evangelical world mourned the passing of a guiding voice. Rev. John Fullerton MacArthur Jr., aged 86, died of pneumonia at a hospital in Santa Clarita, California. For more than 5 decades, he led Grace Community Church in Sun Valley and became a defining figure in modern conservative Christianity. Born on June 19, 1939, in Los Angeles, into a lineage of pastors, MacArthur embraced the pulpit early. After earning his Master of Divinity at Talbot Theological Seminary in 1964, he joined his father's church before taking the helm at Grace Community in 1969 at the age of 29. There, he transformed a local congregation into a vibrant community of over 3,500 worshipers, renowned for its verse-by-verse expository preaching. His influence reached global proportions through radio and TV with Grace to You, distributing sermons and study material to millions. He authored nearly 400 books, including the iconic MacArthur Study Bible translated into dozens of languages, and shaped pastoral training. As president of the Masters University and founder of the Masters Seminary, MacArthur's ministry was both bold and uncompromising. He stood against theological trends he deemed unbiblical, critique of the charismatic movement, rejection of female pastors, and vigorous debate over dispensational doctrine. His 2020 decision to hold indoor services despite state COVID mandates highlighted his conviction and sparked national attention. The church later received an $800,000 settlement. In recent years, health battles including heart, lung, and kidney procedures since 2023 had visibly slowed his pace. In early 2025, he confirmed he was on the last lap. Though frail, he remained spiritually steadfast until pneumonia took its toll. MacArthur's legacy is profound and multifaceted. Legacy impact: biblical exposition, a master of verse-by-verse teaching, credited with shaping a generation of pastors. Global outreach: Grace to You reached millions. His teaching resources became staples for churches and seminaries. Worldwide theological boldness: champion of complementarianism, cessationism, dispensationalism, took public stances on contentious issues. Leadership in education: guided the Masters University and Seminary, training countless ministers and leaders. Countless colleagues and religious leaders offered heartfelt tributes. Franklin Graham called him one of America's great Bible teachers. Al Mohler dubbed him a lion of the pulpit. From global seminaries to living rooms via radio, his teachings shaped faith for millions. He is survived by his wife, Patricia, there for adult children, Matt, Marcy, Mark, and Melinda, 15 grandchildren, and 9 great-grandchildren. Grace Community Church, his family, and countless followers worldwide share in the loss. John MacArthur preached without compromise, loved without condition, and led with unwavering devotion to Scripture. Though his voice is now silent, his teaching endures in books, recordings, seminaries, churches, and in hearts determined to continue his mission. Rest in peace, John MacArthur. Your race is run, your fight is finished, and your legacy stands unshaken in the truth you've proclaimed. On July 2, 2025, in Clearwater, Florida, fans bid farewell to one of Hollywood's most magnetic actors. Julian McMahon, aged 56, passed away peacefully after a private and valiant battle with cancer. The cause of death was confirmed as lung metastasis stemming from head and neck cancer, a struggle he quietly endured until the end. His wife Kelly shared that he loved life, family, friends, work, and fans, and that his deepest wish was to bring joy into as many lives as possible. Born July 27, 1968, in Sydney, Australia, Julian Dana William McMahon was the only son of former Prime Minister Sir William Billy McMahon. He began his career as a model, most memorably in a 1987 Levi's commercial, and transitioned into acting with roles in Australian soap operas The Power, The Passion, and Home and Away, where he portrayed soldier Ben Lucini to national acclaim. His leap to television came with Profiler in the mid-1990s, but fame followed his roles as Cole Turner in Charmed 2002-003, and the charismatic yet flawed plastic surgeon Dr. Christian Troy in Nip Tuck 2003-2010. His portrayal earned him a Golden Globe nomination and transformed him into a Hollywood centerpiece of dangerous charm and psychological depth. Mick Mahan also donned central villainy as Dr. Doom in the Marvel films Fantastic Four 2005 and its sequel. Critics noted how he balanced brooding intensity with sophistication and evolution from his earlier, lighter roles. He continued on screen as FBI Special Agent Jess LaCroix in CBS's FBI Most Wanted 202-0202-2, and later in FBI, International, and most recently as Australia's fictional Prime Minister Stephen Roos in the mystery series, The Residents 2025. His final film performance was in the psychological thriller The Surfer 2024. Co-starring Nicolas Cage, Cage paid tribute, calling Julian a kind and intelligent man and recalling their time filming together as among his favorites. Co-star Rose McGowan, from Charmed, described him on social media as a force of brilliance, wild talent, and humor. Despite personal battles, McMahon's professional devotion remained resolute. Kelly McMahon's statement expressed gratitude for the memories he gave and requested privacy while the family grieved. His legacy was not one of spectacle, but of a man who quietly carried both charisma and compassion, drawing fans into every character he inhabited. Career highlights: Nip Tuck as Dr. Christian Troy. McMahon became synonymous with controversy and style, one of the show's most compelling characters, driving storylines with charm, despair, and transformation. Charmed and Profiler, early roles that showcased his ability to play morally complex characters, from a half-demon assassin to a determined detective. Fantastic Four portrayed classic Marvel villain Victor Von Doom, grounding comic book grandeur in nuanced menace and sophistication. Recent works: FBI, Most Wanted, The Surfer, and The Residents highlighted his range, whether as a lawman, a cryptic gang leader, or a statesman right up to his final performances. Legacy and McMahon's career defied typecasting. He embraced morally ambiguous, intense, and emotionally charged roles with intelligence, control, and undeniable presence. Co-stars and fans remember him not only for his beauty and screen magnetism, but for a playful warmth that radiated beyond the camera. Fans recalled how his work in Charmed and Nip Tuck transported them emotionally, praising the depth behind his performances. His passing reminds us that even those who play villains can wield great kindness in life. He carried public roles and private love with equal devotion, safeguarding his personal battles while allowing his art to speak. Julian McMahon once said his goal was to bring joy into lives. In every role, he did just that. Rest peacefully, Julian. Lightness, laughter, and fierce talent still reverberate in your wake. On July 18, 2025, the roar of engines dimmed as NASCAR's oldest living champion, Rex White, passed away at 94 in his hometown of Taylorsville, North Carolina. A pioneer of stock car racing, White was the embodiment of grit, perseverance, and pure racing spirit. Born August 17, 1930, amid the hardships of the Great Depression, Rex Allen White grew up in Taylorsville, where mechanical curiosity led him to tinker with his family's Model T at age 8. He overcame childhood polio, right leg forever, weak in debt, never wavered. He once reflected, "Most of the lessons I have learned have stayed with me all my life. The biggest one was how to conquer fear." White began racing in NASCAR's Grand National Now Cup Series in 1956, quickly establishing himself as a fierce competitor. His first win came in 1958 at Champion Speedway, and by 1959, he had already notched 5 victories. But it was in 1960 that he etched his name into history, clinching the Grand National Championship with 6 wins, 25 Top 5 South, and 35 Top 10s in 40 starts, crowning him NASCAR's elite. Over a 9-year Cup career spanning 233 starts, White amassed 28 victories, 36 poles, and an astonishing 70% top 10 finish rate, a consistency that earned him titles, including Most Popular Driver 1960 and eventual induction into the NASCAR Hall of Fame in 2015. White was best known for piloting the Gold and White No. for Chevy, dominating short-track circuits like Bowman Gray, Martinsville, and North Wilkes. He also triumphed in longer races, winning the 1962 Dixie 400. In Atlanta, his final career victory when he masterfully conserved fuel to edge out Joe Weatherly by 12 seconds. Despite his modest stature, 5 feet, 4 inches, and 135 pounds, White raced with a giant's heart. He built his career as an independent driver, financing his own car and crew in a time when factory support was rare. His self-reliance and mechanical skill became his trademark, fueling his relentless rise. After retiring in 1964, White remained an ambassador for the sport, active in alumni events, promoting safety and sharing his wisdom as one of NASCAR's 50 greatest drivers in 1998 and later among the 75 greatest in 2023. He also authored his autobiography, Gold Thunder, and co-published All Around the Track, preserving racing history for future generations. NASCAR chairman Jim France praised him as a true pioneer whose contributions helped shape the foundation of our sport, while Winston Kelly, of the NASCAR Hall of Fame, called him the model of consistency. His legacy goes far beyond stats. It lives in every racer inspired by his underdog story. Every short-track racer who believes a small team with big heart can still win. Rex White is survived by his children, grandchildren, and a legion of fans who remembers seeing him wave from his car, grinning, humble, legendary. His life reminds us that character matters as much as speed. that courage transcends size, and that the bravest hearts often come in modest frames. He was the model of consistency, finishing in the top 5 in nearly half of his races, dominated the short tracks. Rest in peace, Rex White. Small in stature, giant in spirit, you drove us all forward. On July 17, 2025, the music world was struck with sadness in Willingboro, New Jersey, when Robbie Pardlow, age 46, passed away, surrounded by close family and friends. While no official cause of death has been released, multiple sources cite complications from heart failure as the likely reason. It was a sudden and profound loss, leaving behind his wife, Annika, their 2 children, Lyric and Cordandrew, and a grieving creative community. But Robbie emerged from Willingboro High with a passion for music rooted in real-life storytelling. In 1999, he co-created the influential R&B, hip-hop trio, City High, alongside friends Claudette Ortiz and Ryan Toby. Under Wyclef Jean's mentorship, their self-titled album City High 2001 exploded onto the scene, propelled by the hit, What Would You Do?, a motivational anthem that reached the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 and earned a Grammy nomination. Their follow-up track, Caramel, featuring Eve, climbed into the top 20, reinforcing their status in early 2000s R&B. Robbie wasn't just the voice of City High, he was its heartbeat. He co-produced their album and shaped the group's lyrical direction, imbuing their tracks with honesty and streetwise soul. Though the group disbanded in 2003, Robbie continued his musical journey, joining R&B quartet First Take and performing alongside icons like Whitney Houston and Lil' Kim. Life after fame brought both achievements and hardships. In 2010, Robbie was featured on A&E's Intervention, bravely confronting alcoholism while he reached a period of sobriety. Relapses reportedly occurred during moments of personal stress, like the tragic loss of his niece, reflecting the complex journey of healing. Even amidst struggle, Robbie's spirit remained unbroken. He shared poignant social media posts that resonated with fans, writing candidly about life, insurance, and deep loss, revealing a man both vulnerable and endearing. Robbie's loved ones remember him as the embodiment of paradox, a tough presence, adorned in tattoos, yet possessing a goofy heart and deep loyalty. Pulitzer-winning poet and brother Gregory Pardlow described him as a sweet, goofy kid behind the streetwise facade. That warmth extended to fans and collaborators, his wife, their children, and music peers who witnessed both his melodies and his heart. Music icons, including Wyclef Jean, immediately recognized the loss. Jean wrote simply on social media, "Gone too soon." Their shared chemistry in the studio and on stage defined an era. City High's impact extended beyond the charts. They provided a soundtrack for people navigating poverty, teen parenthood, and hope in the early 2000s. Legacy snapshot. City High co-creator, shaped hits like What Would You Do? And Caramel, earning a Grammy nomination. Musical collaborator, extended reach via First Take and work with Whitney Houston and Lil' Kim. Human storyteller, open about battles with addiction and mental health, shared with raw honesty. Family man, devoted husband to Annika and father to Lyric and Cordandrew, remembered by brother Gregory as a gentle soul. Robbie Pardlow sang with conviction about life, love, struggle, redemption. His voice lifted others even when he was fighting his own battles. As his family prepares to honor him with a memorial service, fans and fellow artists look back on City High's music with renewed gratitude and see a man whose authenticity transcended the spotlight. Rest in peace, Robbie Pardlow. May your voice continue to resonate in every chord of hope you left behind.